Okay. So I came to the United States in the fall of 2013, and I was a sociology major. After one quarter, I changed from sociology. I started psychology. It didn't go too well. I was falling asleep in the class. And then I realized it's probably not my thing. I loved it though, but it was probably not the best thing for me to do. After I started psychology, at that point, we're still taking the general classes, but I had made my mind to say I'm going to study psychology. And then maybe not psychology. I'll do accounting, yes. And then I took 2 classes in accounting. I loved accounting. But then I'm I can probably do accounting as one of the courses, but maybe not as a major. And then at some point I was going to do political science, and the list goes on and on. Eventually, I decided to settle for business economics. So now I'm going to be doing business economics, and I'll be doing a minor in finance. And the reason why really I chose those 2 is because of what I want to do. She did say eventually I want to work for the United Nations. I want to pursue my platform, which is education for children whilst feeding them for success. But with most African countries, you need to be able to tap into their economy as well while you're still working with them on such a platform like that. So that's why I chose business economics. Not too sure about the finance part because it's not one of my strengths, but I discovered it's probably going to make me more marketable and be able to advise not only governments but also private organizations financially. All right. So like I said before, I changed my majors quite a number of times, which is something that we don't have in Zimbabwe. In Zimbabwe, after high school, during your high school, you already have your major. When you go into college, we have what we call A-level. You have grade 12. We have an extra year, so that'll be grade 13th grade. I don't know, but something like that. So we call it A-level. And so by the time you go to A-level, you already know what you want to study in college, and you cannot change. You make a mistake once, that's a mistake of a lifetime. But it's something that's different, and I didn't know of when I came here. So that has been something that I got to know of through international travel. And I would say those are one of the privileges that I have over somebody who just goes to university back home, but then realizes, this is probably not my thing. We have a lot of differences when it comes to cultures. When you're back home, we don't use pounds. Something that simple. We don't use Fahrenheit. We use degrees Celsius. We use kilograms. We use kilometers. So that's something that I've really come to appreciate coming to the United States. And I've also learned that United States is the only country that does that. Who does that? So these are some of the things that I have come to, just to learn. And it has been such an enriching experience for me. And early on, she was saying, why travel? Why not travel? Mm-hmm. There's just so much out there. There is more than what we think there is. When you are outside of the United States, for example, myself, I would look at the United States at the map and all I would see was Hollywood. I thought everything looks like Hollywood. I thought everything is just like tall buildings, New York. Nobody uses the bus. Everybody, that's what I thought. But then coming here and being able to experience the culture, I have come to learn and to know there is no better way of knowing, or there's no better way of having an international experience other than living like the locals in the land of the locals. So that's, when I came here, I thought, I'm going to have an American experience. I am not having an American experience. I'm having an international experience. I know a little bit of the Vietnamese culture, a little bit of the American culture, a little bit of all other cultures even within Africa that I had no clue of. There's some countries that I've come to know of just by coming here that I would have never known they existed. One time I met Anisha, most of you know, and I asked her, so, hey, where do you come from? And she says, I come from Turkmenistan. That's not a country. And I say to her, say that one more time. And then she says, I come from Turkmenistan. It's next close to Russia. It was once part of Russia. And I'm like, oh, okay. I never heard what she had said. And, I just didn't want to be rude to continue asking one last time. So I go home and I say to my aunt, I met a new friend today. She's from Turkmenistan. And the man said, she's from where? And those are some of the things that I have not just learned and kept for myself, but even those around me have come to know through me doing international travel. My family also has had an international experience. Now they are hosting 2 students. We have one student from Korea. We have another student from Japan. It's fun. They never knew that you could do that as someone who lives around the school premises. You could host students, but they have come to know that, and they've come to have an international experience from time to time. Our students also make their home countries meals, and that is just amazing. From where I come from, our diet consists of mostly corn. It consists of maize meal, but now we eat japchae, we have miso soup. I go home and I'm like, oh yeah, when I was in America, I was having miso soup. But it's something that really I don't take for granted. These are some of the experiences that I don't take for granted, and I will forever cherish wherever I go. The Green River for me has not just been a school. To me, it has been a home. It has been a safety spot. It has been a hangout spot. Now that we have the new building, thanks to people that organize that, we have the gym, the new facilities. We have what we didn't have even when I came here. And for me, it has just not been just, like I said before, not just been a school. Here I have found people that I confide in, people that I share with. I have had amazing advisors, and I will keep comparing it also to where I come from. We only have counselors for the department, not someone that you connect to one-on-one. And unless you are at a college, which they call Polytechnic College, I think here they call them professional colleges? I think something like that, yeah. The smaller ones, that's where you'd have somebody connecting with you on that one-on-one, level. But I come here, I'm going to school. I have a sister who works in the International Programs Office, who is also an advisor, who is more than just what she is supposed to be. I remember one time I was talking to Cindy G at the front desk, and I say to her, I feel like, just by being here, I have an aunt that I never heard when I was back home, because at that time I was still a student receptionist, and I would come into the International Programs Office. She would ask, how are you doing, how are classes going, and she would care. And she's not only the only person that does that with me. I feel like the entire office as a whole has been just that to me. And at times I with Shweta, I would come into the office and would catch up on TV shows. So it has been more than what I expected it to be and beyond. And if I would say anything, I would say just continue what you have been doing. I wouldn't change anything about my international travel. And through what I have just been doing, not only as an international student, now I like what Wendy said earlier on, I am now holding 2 crowns, one as Miss Zimbabwe USA, another one as Miss Africa Washington State. I feel like it has set me apart. Even from now on, I will always use it to my advantage wherever I go. You know, I'm like, oh, by the way, I'm looking for a job. And then they're like, oh, we're not hiring. Oh, by the way, I'm Miss Zimbabwe USA. You know, so it's right. It's stuff that somebody, if I had stayed in my landlocked country, Zimbabwe, I'll be like, oh, are you closed? Oh, okay, and then I'll just end there. But now I'm able to go forward, go beyond, use each and every experience that I have had as an international student to open up doors that I would have never thought possible. Even with me wanting to work for the United Nations, what I am doing now, this platform of me being Miss Zimbabwe USA, I have already started building up towards that. Now Miss Africa Washington State, I get to represent Africa in the entire Washington State. Growing up, it's not something that I would have ever thought possible, but through international travel, through the doors that I have known to be possible, that, you know, all this has opened up, I'm now able to do even stuff that my family looks at me and, you know, I make my parents proud, and I have people looking up to me now. So yeah, for me, it's been amazing, and I'll forever be grateful. Even as I'm transferring to North Park, I am looking forward to even more experiences. But again, I will always be a Gator because that's where it all started.